Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is February the 19th, 2025. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. It was a good Wednesday. We had a solid hump day. We even got a bonus meal that I'm going to get into. I will say, still cold, but not as cold. So I guess we'll take it, we'll take the wins where we can get them, but definitely still very nippy, very cold, freezing, I dare say. But overall, work was actually really slow today. I don't know what was the occasion. I guess, it's the middle of the week, which is usually we figure out how busy the week's going to be. And already we're in a slow period anyway. So it makes sense that it kind of broke slow, which, hey, I'll take. Some sitting time is always a good time for me. But yes, let me talk about our little company meal. Now, the occasion was, I believe, for Black History Month. Actually, I know for Black History Month. But I kind of was almost puzzled just because, we've been talking about they're trying to get rid of DEI, all this stuff, no more diversity. Companies are doing away with it, changing this, that, or the third. So I was really thinking to myself, one, surprised we're still doing this, but I like that. Okay, cool. And then two, the next question was, is this maybe the last year we do this? And I kind of think that maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe it's just under a different name or whatever. I would appreciate, and I put appreciate in some quotes here, my company doing that. Not because I believe that they give a shit. I don't believe that. I think that they have someone in a committee make the effort to do it, and good on them for doing it. But this is just a ploy, to be like, hey, see, we care about you. We did a whole thing. We got you some chicken. Which they did get us some chicken, and it was good. But, like I said, at the end of the day, I am here just for the treat. I'm not really trying to make a whole fucking deal about it. But it was nice. It was cool. We love to just get a free treat, right? So let me go through a breakdown of what was on the plate. I actually got a picture up here, so hopefully I get it right. We had two kinds of wings in terms of spicy or sweet. I got one of each, with some spicy sauce on top, like a spicy barbecue. I believe this is all catered from a barbecue place. I wish I would have remembered. Might have been Midwest something. I don't know. I'm just kind of whatever. Then we had some beef brisket. You could also have gotten chicken, but in my head that was redundant. So I was like, let me just get this brisket. Then I also had some sweet potato. It was this, I don't want to say a smear, but I don't know. It was just sweet potato. But it was all kind of cut up, and they just kind of gave us a little portion. We had cornbread. Some cornbread. I had some of that. Hush puppy. I will say it was kind of like a normie kind of hush puppy, nothing crazy, but it was good. A hush puppy is a hush puppy. Baked mac and cheese, collard greens, green beans, and a little thing of salad. Oh, and then also some potatoes. What is it? The shredded, not the shredded potatoes, but potato skins or whatever. It's escaping me, but whatever. Overall, though, very good. It was good. I don't want to say very good. I think it would have been very good if it was hot. It was kind of on the cold side. If I had thrown it in the microwave, which we do have microwaves, would have been solid, would have been good. I will say, this is an important thing. Did I scam? I didn't scam. I didn't do it. Two reasons. One, we had the setup where even if I had gotten a second ticket, which I didn't, so I guess that's a main reason why I didn't scam, right? Shit, I'm already losing it. I'm already losing my beat here. They had the committee of people, not even just the committee working it. They had supervisors and stuff working the line. So they all would have recognized little old me, and there's no way I could have gotten too past of that. I would have had to wait till the second shift was going to take over for that and then do it. And then two was I just didn't want to. It was already a lot of food. It was very heavy. And I don't know. I'm not saying that shit like, oh, my body's so different now. No, I'm not. But the itis is the itis. And I was just like so bogged down with just that plate that I was just like, look, dude, let's just get out of here. I'm not even going to try to like, finagle for a second ticket. And honestly, I don't think I've really done a double dip in a while. So, maybe I'm just in a new place, new state of mind. Oh, I will say though too, before I get to the food corner, which will be very quick, I did get a Rice Krispie treat for the beginning of the day. I just really wanted one and I was kind of hungry. Like I was just like, and I didn't know about this meal that was coming up. So I was like, oh shit, it's not popcorn or whatever today. Okay, so fine, cool. But yeah, the Rice Krispie treat kind of hit. Like ever since I've been like more dedicated to this whole gym shit though, I've noticed that the one thing still hasn't changed. I love gummies. I love all kinds of gummies. So those like we have these like gummy gusher things that I was eating for the first few months before I started feeling bad about eating them so much. And I would eat those before. I just like gummies in general, but they were like these little, like, I think they're called like Black Forest, whatever the fuck. But if I see them maybe tomorrow, I'll try to mention it. But they're like gushers almost, but just there's no like soury kind of taste to them. So really enjoyed eating those. But I've noticed now, and I think it's just because I saw some gym bros eating them as a little like snack, a little guilty thing, Rice Krispie treats. And I'm like, damn, Rice Krispie treats are kind of like solid, right? They're almost like a rice cake just covered in sugar, which is terrible for you. I hate that sugar's bad for you. I hate that bread's bad for you. I hate the sugar's bad for you. It's not fair. Bread makes you fat. Did you know that? Anyway, food corner. Food corner was pasta. Pasta. Another thing you're not supposed to fucking eat, right? But yeah, you know me. It was a classic pasta meal. I'm not gonna go through all the details, Kept it classic, kept it classy. But yeah, there we go. That's all the food I ate for the most part. I don't tell you all the snacks and stuff, but usually the snacks are pretty mild. It's usually like some like snack chip that I brought in with an energy drink, which I gotta say, I had to drink another energy drink just to make it here, just to make it to the podcast because, oh Lord, I was just ready for a nap. Gym. Oh, I didn't talk about gym. Gym was good in the sense of I got through it, but it was so bad because I just wasn't like, I didn't feel like I was hitting it as hard. I felt so crappy till right around like towards the end of it. And even then I'm just like, ugh. Like, I'm not a guy who likes to eat a lot before I go to the gym. I'm not that type. It just doesn't work for me. I feel very bogged down. I prefer to work out before I have my big meal of the day because I don't know. I think it's more mental than anything else, probably over anything. But today definitely was just because of all the heavy food. It was physical and mental. But yeah, I like to work towards something and I like to like reward myself with food after I've worked out. Whether that's right, wrong, or whatever. I just like that way. But usually I will have like a post. I've noticed like I have like a post gym snack, like an apple. I've been really eating a lot of banana chips or like some pretzel nuggets. I'm not sure the pretzel nuggets are good for you or not or whatever. This isn't a nutrition health podcast. Fuck that. So, I just eat things that I like, and those are better than the things that I was eating beforehand, which was like more junk food, which don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm done with that. I'm just kind of on a break because I feel like I've eaten so much of that over the, for so long, and just in general over the few months, I was just kind of like, let's just not get the sour Skittles. As much as I love them, much as those are some of my faves, let's just put the Sour Patch Kids away. Let's just not get them for a little bit, So that's kind of where my head's at. I've been eating apples and oranges every once in a while. Rotten bananas. Okay, this is a really long blog sesh. I'm very sorry. That wasn't my intentions. My intentions were good. But hey, it's okay. It's fine. Let's go ahead and do our startup and get into some news. Honestly, I wish I could just talk about more Trump shit. I know that's crazy, but like, it's been popping off. He's been talking shit about Ukraine. He said Ukraine started the war, bro. Like, what? I will say Trump had a decent angle, and I'm sure he got all this from fucking Putin. He's just kind of running it back. But essentially, blaming the NATO expansion shit, that's some shit we've talked about on the podcast, where it's like, yeah, that was one of the few angles that Putin had in terms of reasoning that really made sense to someone like me, where it's like, yeah, NATO is a fucking bully fucking situation, and they are using Ukraine to further get into and encroach onto you. So you can say, yeah, that was a fucking reason for us to say, hey, we need to do a land grab to make sure that you just stop using Ukraine like that. But really, that's not the story they ran with. They ran with some fucking false flags, and they're like, yeah, there's Nazis in fucking Ukraine. We got to stop that shit. You know how we feel about Nazis over here. Motherfucker, there's Nazis everywhere. I got Nazis at my fucking gym, probably. What the fuck are we talking about? Like, you just got to live and deal with that shit. Unfortunately, this is a crappy angle. No one's going to buy this. So, it definitely seems like Russia's getting everything they want out of these talks, but I mean, we'll see how that shit goes. That's a whole other fucking can of worms that I wasn't supposed to open, but I feel whatever. Anyway, let's start up. I'm gonna hit the nos. Okie dokie. From ABC News. 2 dead after small planes collide in Arizona. I know, not another plane story. I know, y'all. 2 people were confirmed dead after 2 small planes collided midair at Marana Regional Airport in Arizona on Wednesday. There were 2 people on board each aircraft, a Lancair and a Cessna, according to Federal Aviation Administration, or the FAA. The aircrafts collided while upwind of runway 12, according to preliminary information from the National Transportation Safety Board. The Cessna landed uneventfully. The Lancair impacted terrain near runway 3, and post-impact fire ensued, according to the NTSB. The planes collided around 8:30 a.m. local time. And this was something that I didn't know. They are going to be doing more investigation, so I imagine maybe we'll get some more details there. The Marana Regional Airport is an uncontrolled field. It does not have an operating ATC control tower. Pilots utilize a common traffic advisory frequency to announce their position to other aircrafts. The pilot in command is responsible for maintaining a safe distance from other aircrafts. So I guess it's just simply because you don't have the manpower or the physical infrastructure to have someone at all these kind of local airports, all the major airports, yada, yada, yada. So this just has to be the way it is. But man, that seems a bit scary that you're kind of just tossing out to people. But once again, I do know there's so much training, so much flight time that you have to even get your fucking pilot's license. So, you definitely should have the experience. There's really no, mistake for that. But yeah, I mean, I imagine there's going to be more details to come out to maybe, say what happened here in the situation, what caused what. But yeah, let's go ahead and move along. I got an update I didn't expect to bring to you guys and gals, MBs. I feel like I have a burp. I got a burp coming on. Oi. Oh, okay. From NBC News. Andrew Lester dies while awaiting sentencing after pleading guilty in shooting of teen Ralph Yarl. Andrew Lester, the Kansas City man who pleaded guilty to felony assault in the second degree for the shooting of Ralph Yarl, has died while awaiting sentencing. Clay County prosecuting attorney Zachary Thompson announced on Wednesday. We have learned of the passing of Andrew Lester and extend our sincere condolences to his family during this difficult time, Thompson said. While the legal proceedings have now concluded, we acknowledge that Mr. Lester did take responsibility for his actions by pleading guilty in this case. Our thoughts remain with both families affected by this tragic incident as they continue their healing process. So yeah, it looks like I'm coming back to you guys sooner than March 7th about this story. And it looks like we don't really have to worry about the sentencing. So there's that. Do I feel? No, I don't. I just don't. You know, I wish I could say I'm sorry, but it just is what it is. Oh, he was so stressed out. Maybe he shouldn't have did what he did. I don't know what his mental faculty. Maybe we shouldn't have had him keep the gun. Maybe that's the thing that we should have done. I talked about that in the previous episode. I'm not gonna reopen it. It is what it is. Obviously, I know this isn't justice. You know, I think for Ralph Garl and his family, they just want to move on from here, move forward. It just is. It is a fucking unfortunate, tragic thing that happened, but it's good that Ralph is still alive. So, you know, that there's no takeaway. Like, I don't really have anything. I don't have no fucking anecdotal thing or some parable to fucking serve you here. I wish I did, but hey, I guess it's amateur hour. So yeah, we can just move along. But obviously, you know, it's worth talking about. It did happen. He just didn't make it. So I guess maybe the man upstairs, if you believe in that, just kind of said, here's a sentence for you. Anyway, let's move along. I'm sorry. Whatever. Sorry for trying to be funny. Yeah, because that doesn't really work. Anyway, from ABC News. Jury finds A$AP Rocky not guilty of felony assault. Hip-hop star A$AP Rocky was found not guilty on Tuesday of felony assault charges related to a 2021 incident in which he was accused of shooting at a former friend and music collaborator in Hollywood. Also, it is worth noting that A$AP Rocky's real name is Rakim Mayers. I didn't know that till, I guess, recently. But I'm going to be honest with you. I like A$AP Rocky. You know, he's fun to listen to. I wouldn't say I'm like the biggest fan. But at this point, he has been regulated to Rihanna's boyfriend. So, yeah, hey, good for him. What a life to live. 2 babies now? Like, one's on the way, right? Like, that's crazy. Good for them. And good for him for beating the case here. I mean, I guess you can say that. Maybe it depends on how you feel, how you, you know, but we'll dive a little further. Dive a little deeper. Cheers broke out in the courtroom after the verdict was read as the rapper rushed to embrace family in the courtroom, including his partner, pop star Rihanna, who attended the proceedings. I actually saw a clip of it, and you can, you know, you hear and see him, like, you know, react. He's super fucking excited. Like, he just fucking won a Super Bowl. He goes, like, he's beelining to his family. He's beelining Rihanna and I believe his mom. But there's another lawyer who's part of his team that I think thinks that he's coming to hug her, which makes sense. You're just excited, right? Like, you're ready to hug everybody. Like, yeah, you know, it's a Gatorade moment. He hugs her as fast as he fucking can, but it's almost like he like hugs through her and then proceeds to go to Rihanna. And I was like, that's wholesome. I love that. I'll go ahead and read his quote now. Thank y'all for saving my life. Thank you. Thank y'all. You're making the right decision, the rapper said, addressing the jurors as they walked out of the courtroom. Mayers was charged on August 15th, 2022, with 2 counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm for allegedly firing a handgun in the direction of Terrell Efron, which was A$AP Relly, whose professional name is A$AP Relly, during a confrontation. The jury panel was made up of 7 women and 5 men, began deliberations on Tuesday morning. Mayers, who pleaded not guilty, faced up to 24 years in prison if he had been convicted. I believed his main lawyer had mentioned, like, hey, yeah, they offered us a deal, but he wasn't guilty, so we didn't take it. I think it's, Joe Tacopina. But let's see here. The gun was never recovered, which is an important statement, or important, you know, part of this. They didn't have a key piece of evidence here. Also, Relly gets up on the stand. Also, I think there was another person who's associated with both of them who gets on the stand and says that they witnessed something or witnessed it and that they were also involved in terms of, like, getting shot. But A$AP's defense or Rocky's defense, you know, Mayers, I should say, he didn't take the stand, which is probably a smart call. But essentially, his team's defense was ASAP carries a prop gun. He has it. He has it for like music videos, movie purposes or whatever. I think he's going to be starring in a movie at some point or something that effect. I've heard. But it's just his thing. He also keeps it for security. So this reason is why he has it. And in this altercation that he was having with Relly, or the situation that pops off, he, has his gun, but it's not a gun. And not to mention, no one can find it. So he's saying, I didn't shoot him. I didn't have a real gun. How could I shoot him? How could I shoot anyone? And, the defense can't provide it. So left to the defense, or left to the jury, it seems like it's a he said situation. And you go, oh, okay, we believe ASAP Rocky. And I got to say, he came through with the fits. I didn't stay too plugged into this trial, but I would see like some Instagram, just court photos and stuff. I mean, he was dressed out. He was dressed to the nines. I gotta say, I respect that shit. So yeah, and honestly, I would say with what is presented, like, you do not have actual concrete evidence here to say we know without a shadow of a doubt he did pull out a gun and shoot this man. You just don't have that. So there's no reasonable doubt here, or there's reasonable doubt here. So you can't prove the case without reasonable doubt right now, it seems. So yeah, no reason to fucking throw a man in jail for 24 years. But Taco Pino was like, yeah, why would we fucking take a plea deal? He didn't do it. So there you go. He's out. And it seems like overall everyone's pretty hype. I haven't heard anyone doing any naysaying. I would be surprised to see that at this point, unless you're like just in general, like, yeah, I don't like this hip hop guy beating a kiss. I don't know. Or you're a hater, like you just hate ASAP Rocky. I don't know. That sounds cringe. Good luck with that. Good luck with that life. Anyway, we have one more thing I wanted to cover, and then I'll let you go. Let me go ahead and take my last break, and we'll go ahead and close it out. Ugh. I'm gonna double dip. Oh, I did peep this before I went live. Once again, I can't stop talking about this motherfucker. He's talking this big game. You remember stimulus checks, y'all? Y'all remember stimulus checks. How could you forget? If you're an American, you went through COVID. Oh, what a peace offering that was. Here's some money that will probably fuck up the economy or some shit. But like, here's a little bit of money. You want a little bit more money? We got some. And then even Joe gave us some just to even make up for it. Anyway, essentially, because of all the savings that Trump plans to do through Doge and all the cuts, he's like, yeah, we're going to save so much money that, hey, we might even give some of that money back to the taxpayers. Bro, like, when I heard that, I just started laughing. Like, we cannot be doing this shit again, dude. Like, this shit is what I believe. Truly, in my mind, obviously, I'm not a fucking economist, but I think the biggest reason why people think the economy was so good under Trump was simply because of the fact that you got money from the government that you've never gotten before. Something you would think would be some fucking liberal welfare bullshit. And it's like, no, that was from a Republican president to try to keep his numbers as up as he could, to try to save his own shit. And guess what? It didn't work. It's so crazy that he's floating that strategy again already. For what? Like, I haven't seen any approval ratings yet or anything like that, so I don't know, but what a crazy move, man. Like, I just can't believe we're already floating that already. And we're in like month 2. Not even a full month. Being an American is so sick, dude. So fucking funny. Anyway, oh man, there's so much. I feel like I just want to go like a whole episode and just talk about more Trump stuff. Like the legal shit he's doing with immigration is so fucking nasty. Like essentially, if you're in a situation fighting for your immigration case, he will just deport you. He will just use ICE and just. I mean, I'm not running this off of a link, but these are off of like news headlines and shit I've been fucking seeing and shit. It's so frustrating. This dog shit. Anyway, let's close out. We gotta go to Brazil. Let's go to Brazil. I don't know what that accent was, but we tried it. In the Associated Press, Brazil's former president Bolsonaro, charged over alleged coup that included a plan to poison Lula. I didn't know about the poison. The poison was like a new twist. I was like, that's so old school. Okay. Yeah, take it to a man who's beaten COVID so many times to come up with some plan like this, or at least accept a plan like this. Beaten it so many times because he's gotten it so many times. You know he's unvaccinated. You know he's hitting that shit raw. Anyway, ivermectin for me, please. Brazil's prosecutor general on Tuesday formally charged former president Jair Bolsonaro. I'm gonna say Jair. I'm gonna say Jair. Jair Bolsonaro with attempting a coup to stay in office after his 2022 election defeat, and a plot that included a plan to poison his successor and current president Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva and kill a Supreme Court judge. So I knew the bones of it in terms of like the judge shit, in terms of Lula. I just didn't know about the poison. I was like, oh, goddamn, dude, that's how you were going to try it? Like, that feels so like, I don't know, old Roman. Like, okay, I guess. We have like guns and shit. Like, bomb? Like, nah, poison. I want to poison this motherfucker. Okay. All right. Prosecutor General Paulo Gonet alleges that Bolsonaro and 33 others participated in a plan to remain in power. The alleged plot, he wrote, included a plan to poison Lula and shoot dead Supreme Court Justice Alexandre de Moraes, a foe of the former president. See, it's like, that's just so OD. Like, I don't understand that. The members of the criminal organization structured a plan at the presidential palace to attack institutions, aiming to bring down the system of the powers and the democratic order, which received the sinister name of Green and Yellow Dagger. That's some fucking Skyrim ass shit, bro. Shut the fuck up. Garnett wrote in a 272-page indictment. The plan was conceived and taken to the knowledge of the president, and he agreed to it. So there you go. He essentially sees the poison plan and says, yes, poison. I like that. So good. Once again, I don't know who this accent is. I'm just being possessed. I'm being possessed by news. Bolsonaro is often seen in Brazil's yellow and green national soccer jersey, and colors have become associated with his political movement. I think that's such a populist cheat move. It's such a cheat code thing to be like, yeah, everyone loves these colors. Our fucking football team, our soccer team is, tied to these colors. Like, it's just such a win to just doff this shit on like it's like fucking Superman armor, and they just fuck with you, dog. They're just like, dude, he's so him. He's so him, dude. He's so strong. Oh, he's so full of machismo, bro. And it's just this old guy. It's just this old guy, I'm sorry, who just looks like, I feel like he could just do my taxes. Maybe not well, but I feel like that's what he's here for. I don't know how he got to H&R Block. I don't know why I'm at H&R Block, but I feel like that's where I would run into a Bolsonaro-like character. But no, this is the Trump of the tropics. That's who I'm fucking with. That's who we're fucking with right now. So yeah, I mean, there's the bones of it. He's been indicted. We'll see how that goes. Obviously, there's more details, but I'll wait to see, what hits the fan, if there's any more, important names in this group or whatever. We'll see. But yeah, we've gone to Brazil. Let's go ahead and pack it up and go home. Let's see. If you'd like to help out, support the effort, I do have a Patreon, patreon.com/Isaiah News. Let's see, free ways to hit me up, IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. Feel free to follow me or the podcast on any of the socials. Subscribe to the YouTube. That's a free action. You can follow me on TikTok. That's a free action. Same thing with Spotify. Leave a cool comment. Sharing is caring. Try it out. Helps out the algorithm. The AI bots go, ooh, and then they like move my shit a little harder. So, I don't know. That's that. They say you say stuff like that, and it's just good. But hell, they say to say that shit at the top. I say that shit for the end. I say that shit for the most loyal people, the most down bottom motherfucking people, the real ones who want to hear me talk until the very end, or the people who fell asleep listening to me, and that's okay. Sorry if I've ever yelled and you woke up to me. That's crazy. That would be wild. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for being a friend. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.